all you twin flame helps out there. How is it going? Huh? I hope the holidays are not making you super nervous. Usually people do get kind of edgy around these days. All kinds of stuff is going on. Anyway, uh, well, you notice this uh, box here probably. A gift from one of my friends. She's Chinese Christian, and I'm Muslim and proud to be one. Always were since I converted. Always will be. Wearing a hat because it's super cold out there, and I am basically covered. So I am a hijabi on a regular basis, but I enjoy wearing hats a little bit in winter time because basically the rules are not broken. I'm still covered. So um, as I said, this is a box. This is a gift for a wonderful person who adopted two of my rescue cats, and I really owe her because she not only adopted them, but she's wonderful. She spoiled them so much, and they are having wonderful life. And anyways, and when I was just like beginning my journey into Islam, I used to be like one wonderful imam from Europe, Hussein Chailakovich, like he said in one of his speeches, sermons, you could say, that some people have inflammation of religion or inflammation of faith. We call it inflammation of iman, which is iman is Arabic word for the religious creed for the faith. And so he said some people have that inflammation of iman or inflammation of religion in the beginning of their journey, whether they convert to Islam or they convert to Christianity or Buddhism or whatever they convert to. But especially when people come to Islam, they become too strict on themselves. I'm not saying that we should be breaking commands of God, but it's more than that. People become very nervous and strict in everything they do. They want to make up for lost years of not practicing, and then they become very strict on every single aspect of their life. So I used to be like that. I had inflammation of faith for years, like this, like wearing a hat and a scarf instead of just the scarf was unimaginable for me. I would probably say, though, that's not a hijab, but basically, um, the idea of hijab is to identify yourself as a Muslim. And so maybe sometimes when I wear a hat like this in the winter, maybe directly it doesn't say, it doesn't tell people who I am. But first of all, I'm not breaking any rules on the covering part. And second of all, depends where I'm going, who I'm gonna hang out with. If I'm wearing a hat, I'll be with people that already know I'm Muslim. So I'm not losing my track there, like with people that will not be able to identify me as one, because I find myself when I wear hijab, I find myself to be an ambassador of my faith, and it helps me to check the reality, like on my own behavior. Like it really helps me. It's sort of like reality check for a person. Like if you wear a scarf, you don't do certain things. You are not, because if you did something indecent in the public while you're wearing your scarf and representing the purity and idea of your faith, then you're not just embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing the idea behind it, the purity of the whole concept. So I enjoy it. That's one of the millions of reasons why I love hijab, is to have that constant reality check, like always reminder my behavior. It's like better than having someone like pinch you on and say, hey, what you're doing is not, don't talk like that, don't have that attitude, uh, don't embarrass, yourself and stuff. It's much better. It's constant reminder. It's kind of, let me give you an example that, like, for most of the world is applicable. For example, a wedding ring. When someone wears their wedding ring, it's not about, for some people it's about the value of the ring, of the monetary value, but for the symbolic reason is that to remind you it's there, and if you are in a situation to cheat on your wife or your husband, if you find yourself in really, like, challenging moments, you have that ring to remind you to stay away. And like that country song that goes on the radio nonstop says, uh, no, honey, I'm good. I have someone at home. The lyrics go something like that. Like, the guy is in the bar and the beautiful girl approaches him. She wants to talk to him, whatever. The whole deal is, and then he reminds himself that he has a woman at home and he should be faithful, right? Of course. So, I mean, but when I started wearing hijab, I was very strict, like, so none of my hair strings would be, it's like everything when you start anew, you want to be perfect at, like, become perfectionist. So those years are behind me. I'm much more relaxed into my religion, which is better because our Prophet Muhammad, the last prophet of the mankind, basically. When we say prophet, we mean the prophet that has been given written um, instructions from God, the book, the prophet with the book. It doesn't mean that there are no people around still who have inspiration and who have a message that is divine, a divine source for us. I'm just saying that he's really the last prophet that brought the book. There's not going to be any more books sent from heaven. We have enough. We have Old Testament, New Testament, and the Quran, and the previous older scriptures. They are mostly lost. But anyways, what I'm saying is that when we when we are too strict on ourselves, we cannot fully have peace. And the peace within ourselves is what every religion is trying to teach you. And that's why people do need the faith, so that they can have peace and they can have peace of mind, peace of heart, and peace with God. Because things happen in life that are hard to explain and hard to accept, but with that faith, you just go through much faster and much easier. And hard times are, still hard times, but without faith, people will, be suicidal. They would hurt someone else. They uh, turn into self-destructive behaviors. They destroy their body. They destroy their spirit is on the ground zero. So we all need that. But when we come into religion, then we start being too hard on ourselves, and that causes opposite, things. And as I was saying, the last prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which means peace be upon him and greetings upon him, he used to teach people constantly on moderation, to be moderate, to go in the middle. He always said, don't go this road and this road, go through the middle, be moderate. So don't be too hard on yourself, don't be too easy on yourself. Don't break all the rules of God just to enjoy yourself, but you cannot also become a saint. You have to realize you're a human being, and then you have, even though all of these restrictions are good for you, but as long as you're not making them too hard on yourself. Like, some people will say that, oh, all the hijabs need to be black, and that's all. That's overdoing things. It makes life harder and makes your religion harder, and then you don't enjoy it fully. So find a way to enjoy it, to be in peace with yourself and with your religion, and then God will send you more peace into your heart and understanding of why things happen. Anyway, so I'm not so strict anymore. I enjoy my religion. I know who I am. I know what I identify with, and that's because mostly because what this religion is teaching regarding God Himself, His nature. So I cannot go back or go to something else that is teaching differently than having one source, one single source where we all come from. And that source is called, in Islam, it's called Allah. So I cannot uh, go for another concept where there's more than one sources. There's only one source that everything exists from, right? So, because as the Quran says in one place, if there were more gods, they would fight with each other. They would take power from each other. There's only one powerful source. And one funny story from Persia, from the times of Renaissance of Islam was Nasruddin. Nasruddin was this comedian type of imam, the preacher who tried to spread the word of Islam through humor, through comedy, and there were many books written on this subject, and probably more jokes were added. Those are kind of like Islamic jokes, but they also bring a message with them, you know. So one time, this character, this imam called Nasruddin Hoja, he was asked, how do you know, Mom? How do you know there's God? He's invisible. How do you know? I mean, why do you believe in him? And he said, well, you know what? When I want to do something, usually bad, but regardless, you know, when I want to do something and then something stops me, like no matter how hard I try, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't go my way, and I know that's God, you know, because He's the one who can make things happen or make things not happen no matter what you do. It's so someone who is pushing you or stopping you sometimes, and you have no control over it. That's when you realize, you know, how small we are. But we can also be big when He gives us, if we ask, and then we believe in Him, our power rises with that. By being humble to God, we can actually become more powerful, right? So I know my truth, and I stand by my truth that one source, there's only one source, and that we all also come from that source. And so some other concepts I don't accept simply so I don't offend that source. Because that source gave me my breath, gave me my life, gave me everything that I own, and could take it away from me. You know, health is most important part. And all of you, whether you have health or you don't have health, but you will, God willing, inshallah, will realize the importance of um, that power, you know, can take everything away from you or give you everything back. And even if you think right now He has taken everything away from you, just wait, things will change. There's reasons for everything. This is beyond our comprehension, beyond our own reasoning. You know, that's another power that God has. Because, you know, imagine if you could see everything, the past, the future, what's going on with someone else out there that is related to you or will be related to you or was related to you. And imagine that you could see all of that. It's kind of like a chess game. You have to put, you know, things together. Sometimes you have to sacrifice something to get this, you know, things in order. So he or she, whatever you want to look at, you know, God has no gender in Islam. Allah doesn't have gender, whether it's a male or female, because it's beyond our own. Everything else basically has gender, like the Quran says. Even electricity has. You have plus and minus, and there's darkness and light, and everything has its, you know, its opposite. You could call it a gender or opposite. side, but God is, he's everything and everywhere, so it's not related to him. So he or she, Allah, will give you take away sometimes because it's best for you. You don't understand, because it's not just you in this world. There's a lot of there's, there's so many of us. Things are related. Everything is related. So we have to just, you know, get by. Word patience used to make me mad. Like, patient, how can I be patient? If I had patience, I wouldn't. So I will, of course, I will recommend you patience, but I'm saying that it's not just being patient. It's sometimes you have to get distracted by something else. You have to do, something else while things get resolved. Sometimes you have to do something to resolve things. Sometimes you just have to wait, let it go, just for things to, sometimes things will resolve just by letting them go, just by letting things, cool off or whatever, so there's all kinds of things going on. It's hard to comprehend. Sometimes let your problems go to God, so anyway, so I in that aspect I am strict in monotheism, in believing that there's only one source that gave me life, and I keep that strong opinion, and that's why I'm Muslim, because Islam is basically right now only monotheistic. Let's be realistic. It's the only monotheistic religion that still preaches oneness of God. I mean, and New Age and people, light workers, will say the same thing. Uh, I don't know how much, it's not considered a religion. It's considered spiritual path, and most of these people on right spiritual path, they know there's just one source that everything emanates from, right? But there are religions out there that add more to it, and it goes through their doctrine. And I'm not offending anyone. I'm just saying that I keep my truth, and my belief, and, and that's the number one reason why I consider myself Muslim. But only God knows if He accepts my Islam or my faith. But not a strict one, not to myself or others anymore. When it comes to people, I love people based on um, who they are, how they act with others. Not just, sometimes they don't have to necessarily be nice to me, but if I know they're nice to, like, if they have shred of goodness in them. I love most of the humankind, and it's not easy to love everyone. Some people are hard to love, some people are easier to love. But I don't uh, I don't see the reason to dislike them for their religion. That's their truth. That's their path. Maybe they're a step below me. Maybe they're a step ahead of me. I'm not saying that to say that someone is below me. I'm just saying that on a spiritual level, in God's eyes, maybe that's their level of understanding of nature of God maybe is below or above certain level. That's none of my business. That's their life, and depends how much the evolution of their soul has, you know, progressed. And it's important, love between us. Everybody has a soul, everybody has a heart. So I used to avoid Christmas time, being very strict, not to wish Merry Christmas to anyone, because I was afraid that, it would offend God, because there's a lot of confusion about this, and I don't want to go into details, because some people will now say, what is she talking about? Why would she not like the Christmas? But Muslims will understand better, and Jewish will understand better what I'm saying, and people who have some more historical facts about the dates and times of these holidays. But the fact is that people have around these dates, let's say 24th, 25th of December, people gather as families. This is their family time. This is time to love each other. So there's a lot of love going on at that time. So that's that spirit of Christmas that matters to them. And they give gifts and stuff. So this is my time, just like time when it's their birthday, or when I just find something beautiful for someone, and it's like a perfect gift, and I get it for them, and then I wait usually for their anniversary or holiday or something to give it to them. This is perfect time for me to give to the people that I love, to show them my love and my respect. It does not mean that I believe that certain date has certain well, it doesn't have spiritual meaning to me, but it does to them. So that's why I have this ready for my friend, and I hope she'll like it. Anyways, so that's just a little bit about this Christmas time and everything. And I just wanted to share with you that if you watched my previous video, I mentioned that karma just gets messed up if I don't make these videos. Every time I do, there's a progress on my twin flame journey, and I have wonderful. I'm excited to say that I have wonderful news that on Friday I have been hugged and kissed, and I gave kiss, and I received one back from my twin flame's mother. That's the woman that in the beginning of my twin flame journey was being cold to me, and she was being hard on me, and basically nothing happened between me and her son, my twin flame. But she was, as a mother, she was the first one noticed this energy between us, his nervousness when I would shop at their place, and she would be sort of mean to him when he was paying attention to me or talking to me, and she would like push him away and stuff, and that hurt me in the beginning. That was when I was younger and he was younger, and not it didn't hurt me personally, but I was afraid. His reaction was he was being embarrassed that she would push him around like that. He was very young at that time, and then that caused some rebellion within him. In the coming years, he rebelled, and he was not so tight with his parents anymore. Now they seem to be back to good terms, and but over the years, she had few times she had chances to realize the nature of me and who I really was. And she is sort of like, when you have an ice, a person that has ice, like, metaphorically speaking, ice around the person, and then imagine that ice melting. Love can melt any ice around any person, and walls can fall, can be broken with love. And I gave unconditional love over the years to them. Every time I would see them, I would not let ego come between us. And this is not first time we hugged, me and her, but this time it was we're getting closer and closer and closer, because not every hug is the same. Sometimes someone hugs you and you don't feel nothing, and sometimes you feel a little bit of affection, and then this time it was that familiar closeness that comes between family. When you hug your mother, your aunt, your sister, your family member, not just a girl, it's just a random person. And I had and her friends were there, and two of her closest ladies. And when I came out, it happened at the mosque, and I was praying a really long time, and she waited outside. It was pouring rain. It was really pouring rain, and she waited outside for me. And uh, I walked out, and every time I see this this lady, every time I see his mother, it's like someone, I hear the voice tell me what to do at that moment, and then listen to it. It's very loud. It's like not loud in a bad way, but I'm saying it's like very direct voice to tell me, and it's not like to tell me, but it's like that instinctive feeling. Some may call it higher self, some may say angel, whatever. It's a positive, push, like a like someone who is encouraging you to do the right thing. So this little voice that is very strong at the same time, so I shouldn't call it little, told me this time, don't just hug her but kiss her, like give her a short, small kiss on her cheek. And I kind of did that from the bottom of my heart with all the honesty, because uh, she is the mother of, she gave birth to my other half. So I have this strong connection that is like, be accepted from her, by her, not only because of my union, but because I feel sometimes same with my own mother. We used to be very distant from each other. It was Islam actually that brought us together, because my mother, she also started practicing Islam, and then we kind of became closer. And actually, through this twin flame journey, we became closer because she opposed everyone ever who I liked or who liked me in previous, and that caused a lot of distancing between me and her, a lot of drama and things. A twin flame, the moment I met him, she liked him. He's the only, I can say honestly, he's the only man, only guy, only boy, only masculine form that ever uh, was part of my life that she ever accepted and liked. And I feel that he also has a very strange and a beautiful connection with my mother, because she's different than me, and I don't like sometimes the way she, um, acts or reacts with people, and I'd be embarrassed sometimes. That happens to a lot of parents and children. I wouldn't do things that she does, or say things that she says, and so we don't agree most of the time on these like little like social, etiquettes and things. But when it comes to him, no matter how she acted, he always was accepting of her, but it seemed genuine. Like, or I'll give you examples. Sometimes he would open doors for my mother, and I'm not saying that there were no people that did that before, but when he did, it was so honest. It was really not. It was because of me, but at the same time, it wasn't because of me. It's something between two of them that is like it's because of me, because I'm his twin flame, but at the same time, that's between them. Same goes for his mother. It's because she's his mother, but at the same time, I feel like she gave birth to my other half. I want to get closer to her. I feel um, nervousness and love at the same time. And it's not just like a mother-in-law thing, but it's more like that person is also important to me, and she happens to be his mother. So remember I mentioned in few videos ago when I met my soulmate, who was like who helped me with the solar plexus chakra. He was, his mother was perfect, and she still is. We're still friends. I just saw her yesterday. We love each other, and she's Mormon, and or LDS, as some would say, officially. And she's like a mother-in-law that someone would want to have, but her son is not my twin flame. He's someone uh, who balanced my solar plexus chakra, sort of a friend, a soulmate, but not a twin flame. So I cannot. Let's say you find a guy with a perfect mother, but that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm not saying that I'm trying to get this woman to love me to, pieces or something. But but because of my twin flame, she presents special, she's a special person for me, very important. So we made that connection on Friday. That was just like a step closer, step further in this twin flame journey. It does matter what she thinks of me, and it does matter if she likes me and if she accepts me. Of course it does. In this 3D world, in this dimension, in dunya, it's important. So I'm super excited, hugging, and then hugging and kissing the person that gave birth to your twin flame. You have to understand that there's that energetic connection. Also, I noticed I used to be super nervous um, with anyone who is close to him, his family members, his sister, father, mother. I get the goosebumps and that scare and that fear energy that comes when you see your twin flame, you know, like that push and pull dynamics. And I would always feel that with them as well, whether he was there or not, because he carried that energy that he has. He's my better health, and it's like before we are now polarizing slowly, obviously, because before it was like two magnets that are pushing away, and then they're creating that like a coiling, boiling, scary, like bursting energy that makes you upset, makes you uncomfortable, makes you out of your place, out of your, you want to jump out of your skin. That's why the twin flames run. So I always felt that burst of strong and unbearable, overwhelming energy when I was in presence of his mother. Plus, of course, the psychological part that you want to be accepted by or liked by that person. So it was a lot of things going on. That's melting so much. And this past year, I've noticed as I've worked on myself with help of God and help of light workers and angels and everyone. Thank you all. And the viewers, thank you, because by watching me, you help me also expand and share. And by helping you, if this helps you, that actually then it brings, you know, what you give, you get. So I've noticed all over this year a lot of that has gone. So now when I see people who bring his energy to me, I'm not so not my hands used to shake and things, and I would not know what to say. I would be scared. I always had that voice to tell me what to do, say hi or something, but it was so hard. It was so scary. It was so, you know, I thought I was choking. My head would explode. Now it's much more relaxed, and I feel. And when I hugged her, I felt I could feel her. I could feel her energy in a positive way. And that happened also when I saw the twin flame. Remember when he encountered with me, and it wasn't so. The energy between us is balancing. I can feel, and that has to do a lot with my chakras. I know it has to do with my chakra. I should say chakra, right? Not chakra. I say chakra. So chakras are balancing. I want to make a next video just about every single chakra and tell you how this worked on me, and you should work on that too. I don't charge for that, and I will not charge to. Next video will be very like instructional, educational about my work on my chakras and how you can do that and why you need to do that when it comes to twin flame reunion. And even if your twin flame is not doing anything about his chakras, when you do yours, they will balance with his depending on what's going on. You will fix him when you fix yourself, right? Or her. So that's it. I want to tell you that it actually, the work in progress is progressing. I had one step further. I feel union is getting closer when I'm getting closer to the most important people in his life, including his mother. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share. I will put more details about other happenings with other people and how do they relate to my chakras and how do I work on these in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you're Christians, enjoy your time with your families. If you don't have families, don't worry. If God wanted you to be alone this time of year, use that time as meditation. Imagine how many people are surrounded by big families. They would wish to have one moment alone or one day alone and have peace and quiet. So if you're alone and you miss being with family or something, just imagine if you were that other person, then you will don't think as bad of your situation as you think now. Think that someone would hate to be in your place, to be alone, and just everybody leave him alone and give him some space. If you have that space, accept it. Use it for meditation. If you have internet, be grateful. Show gratitude to God that you have internet. A lot of people don't have it. So if you have it, watch YouTube, watch these videos, watch my previous videos. Some of them horrible, some of them are nice, some whatever. Comment, post comments so that I know what I need to improve, what I need to keep, and anything is welcome. Thank you. And for Jewish people, happy Hanukkah. It's on the same date as Christian holidays. So all of you and Muslims, we just had Mawlid going on. Some Muslims celebrate, some don't. Again, it's good to have people gather at the mosque and eat together and talk and pray. Anything that brings people together in love and light is good, you know. And try to be grateful to the Creator, to God, and never forget Him. Thank you. Peace be upon you. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Christmas. Everything. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.